Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Dave, and in this video I am proud to present the first public release of the first website software product created by ArachniDev LLC. The software that I'm giving a tour of is called ArachniCMS, and it's actually the very same website software used for ArachniDev LLC's own website. CMS stands for Content Management System, which is essentially software that allows you to manage your own website without having to write any code. If you've used any of a number of the many popular blogging platforms, then you're already familiar with the concept of a CMS. Let's get started. This is the landing page. The landing page has many customizable components. I'll show you how to do those customizations later, but for now let me give you a short tour. This area at the top is the navigation area. On the left you have the website logo, pictured as the logo for ArachniDev LLC, but you'll want to upload your own, otherwise it will simply say ArachniCMS. When you click on the logo anywhere on the website, it will take you to this landing page. If we navigate to any of the other pages on the website for just a moment, you'll notice they all have one thing that the landing page doesn't have in common: this little sun icon. The little sun icon is a smart theme switcher button. Notice that when you click on it, the theme of the website switches from light to dark or back again. Furthermore, when your visitors click this button, their preference will be automatically saved in their web browser, so they don't have to click the button on each page or even the next time they visit your website in that web browser. Later I'll show you some of the color schemes available for the website in the settings. There's a color theme for almost every color of the rainbow, and each color theme setting is dynamically compatible with the theme switcher button. The landing page is the only page on the website that isn't affected by the theme switcher. This is to preserve a certain aesthetic and the very speediest of loading times on what is likely to be one of the most trafficked pages on your website. This picture in the background is called a hero image. Just like the logo, I'll show you later how to upload your own background image. You are also able to easily customize the landing page's title and subtitle text that appears right here. You are encouraged to edit the default title and subtitle, otherwise it will simply advertise ArachniCMS. In this section, you'll see that a few links to your most popular blog posts will automatically generate. Below that, an email capture form will appear. This is an integration with MailChimp, which is a company that offers an easy way to manage an email list that you want to send newsletters to. If people do join your email list by filling out this form, they'll be taken to a thank you page. I'll show you how to easily customize that later. Let's move on to the About page. Now that we are logged in, you can see the edit. Let's log in first before we check this page out. So you click the login button down there. And now we'll go back to the About page. Here we go. Now that we're logged in, the main difference is we have a button here for editing the page. So let's click on that and see what we can do. You can edit the page title so it doesn't just say About. You could have it say anything really. This here is called a WYSIWYG editor. That's an acronym that means what you see is what you get. You can think of it kind of like a miniature version of Microsoft Word in that it allows you to style the text by bolding it, italicizing it, etc. And this is going to be the content that's on the page where you're talking about yourself or your organization and maybe bragging a little bit. Finally, you can also upload an image here. Here, as elsewhere on the website, you'll be required to provide a written description of the image, such as for disabled users. You'll also notice in the explanation text here that the image is limited to 2 megabytes in size. This rule also applies to other images uploaded to this website on other pages. The size limitation is to save space on your web server, as well as to make it easier for users browsing your website in poor network conditions. The majority of web surfers now browse over mobile connections, so this has the effect of making it easier for the majority of your users to load your web pages. If your image is too big, you'll need to resize it by way of image manipulation software, such as GIMP. Let's move along here. The next page is the blog section of the website, and you may end up spending most of your time in this section. When you click on the blog button in the navigation area, it takes you to this particular page, which is a kind of index or listing of blog posts with the most recent first. If you have a lot of blog posts, the listing will automatically feature paginated links at the bottom for your visitors. At the top of the listing, if you're logged in, you'll have this plus button right here for adding new blog posts. Otherwise, if you aren't logged in, there will just be this button for accessing the RSS feed of your blog posts. And if you don't know what an RSS feed is, that's alright. It's automatically generated for you, and your visitors who utilize RSS will thank you. So each blog post listing has a few things: the title of the post, the number of pictures embedded in the blog post, as well as the number of YouTube videos embedded in the blog post, and a short summary of the blog post. Oh, and also, if you have this feature enabled, it will show you the view count of that particular blog post. However, don't worry if you're logged in, it does not count your own views when you're clicking on these articles. Additionally, you should know that your website crawls itself every night to update its sitemap.xml file with changes you have made, such as adding or deleting blog posts. Finally, if you're logged in, you'll notice this little badge on each blog post indicating whether or not it's published. If a post says unpublished, that just means it's private and only you can access it when you're logged in. So by clicking the plus button at the top, you'll be taken to the Create Blog Post page. Here you'll find a title field, a WYSIWYG editor for the article content, just like the About page. Additionally, you'll need to provide a post summary. It's not actually required, but it's highly recommended. It's for situations where it may be inappropriate to display the whole article. You can also determine the publication status of the article right out of the gate. Remember, published means anyone can read it. Set it to unpublished if you are saving a work in progress. I'll show you later how to change what the publication status defaults to. Finally, you can determine whether or not you want comments to be locked. If comments are locked, then your site's visitors won't be able to leave comments. Don't worry though, this setting isn't permanent and you can easily change it later. Let's go back to the posts page. Let's take a closer look at an existing blog post by clicking Read More. Alright, so since we're logged in, we can see a couple buttons here at the top. The first one is for going back to the posts listing. The next one is for embedding embedding additional images in this blog post. This one is for embedding YouTube videos in this blog post, and this is for editing this blog post itself. Below the post's title is an image slider containing thumbnails of all the images you've embedded in the post. If you have more than a few, the slider will allow you to scroll horizontally through all the images. Clicking on any one, as you can see, maximizes the image in the browser. If you click this X button, it'll go back to the post. And then also below it you can see there's a caption here. Below here is some meta information about the post itself, such as the date of the post, the view count of the article, and then whether or not it's published. So this is the post itself. This one is particularly long. After that, you have the YouTube videos, one or more, if you have embedded them in the post. Then there's an email capture form for your MailChimp newsletter, if you have that feature enabled. Then there's share buttons for social media websites. And finally, there are share buttons for Patreon, and not share buttons, but attractive buttons to allow people to navigate to your Patreon and LibrePay pages. That's optional, but of course I'll show you how to link to Patreon and LibrePay later. Those websites, in case you don't know, they're websites for people to pledge a recurring donation to you or your organization in exchange for maybe some membership benefits. So the card following the blog post is the comment section. Only if you have comments enabled will users be able to comment. Unless, of course, you're logged in. Even if you have comments turned off, you'll be able to leave comments. Furthermore, there are several controls available for existing comments. When you are logged in, you may approve or unapprove any comment, which may come in handy as only you have the ability to view unapproved comments when you're logged in. Let me demonstrate. So you can click unapprove. Now the comment is in the unapproved section. Of course, because I left it and I'm logged in, it automatically gets approved initially, but you can toggle the approved status of it. Additionally, you can delete the comment forever if you like. Also, if you're logged in, you're going to see additional information about this comment that other people won't be able to see if they aren't logged in. You'll be able to see things like the commenter's email address, as well as the IP address that they left the comment from. If your post ends up getting a lot of comments, don't worry. Your comment sections will automatically self-paginate like your blog post listing. Also, don't worry. All public-facing forms on this website are protected by a honeypot system that will help you avoid spam bots. Let's check out the Edit Blog Post page by clicking the pencil button at the top. As you can see, this page is almost identical to the Create Blog Post page. However, there is an additional button that allows you to permanently delete the blog post. Below that, you can see handy options that will allow you to remove from the post any embedded YouTube videos or images. Speaking of images and YouTube videos, let's check out that now. Let's navigate to the admin area. Let's click on the Images button on the left. This page is essentially the image vault for your entire website. It has been designed to allow you to save space on your web server through a few clever tricks. As mentioned earlier, image uploads are limited to 2 megabytes and require written descriptions. Also, this image vault allows you to upload an image once and use it an unlimited number of times in multiple blog posts. As an example, if you are an author planning a series of a dozen blog posts about a new book you wrote, this image vault allows you to upload your book cover image only one time, rather than again and again each time you want to embed the book cover in a blog post. This page features a handy gauge that shows the amount of storage space available on your web server. Note that this space includes everything on your web server, including operating system files and the ArachniCMS software itself. At the bottom, you'll see a listing of all images you've ever uploaded to this vault. The trash button for each image will not just delete the image, but it will also remove it from all the blog posts that you've embedded it in. Finally, you'll notice the little edit button. This allows you to edit the descriptions of each image. Let's go back to the admin area and check out the YouTube videos. This is the YouTube videos section. There's a handy example on this page explaining how it works, and I'll demonstrate it for you now as well. It works very similar to the image vault. To embed a YouTube video, many CMS software products will require you to use the embed button on the YouTube website, which gives you complicated iframe code to copy and paste. Here, let me show you. If you click Share, and you click this Embed button, this is what a lot of CMS software products want you to copy and paste, and you may have to alter it as well if you want it to show up properly on your website. But you know what? I decided to make it a lot simpler for you. We're going to avoid any of that complicated code. All you actually need is the URL for the page where your YouTube video is. In fact, you don't even need the whole URL. You just need the video code, which is after the V equals after the question mark at the end of the URL. So in this case, everything after the V equals is just going to be the WZW9I, etc., etc. So all you have to do is copy that. In fact, I think I already have this one. Let's find a different video. Linus Tech Tips seems to be pretty popular, so we'll embed one of his videos as a demonstration. You just have to copy that part right there, and again, it's explained right here on this page if it's not clear to you, but you just paste that in there and then give it a description, and then click Add Video Code. And voila, there it is. And then if you want to delete it, it's going to be just like it is with the images page, where it's going to also remove it from all, in addition to deleting it from this section, it's going to remove all the instances where you've embedded that YouTube video in a blog post. So I'm just going to X out of that and not delete it, but you get the idea. All right. So yeah, and essentially, just to reiterate, this way you only have to do this process one time. If I want to embed this YouTube video in 20 different blog posts, then I can just click the button that I'll show you later to, well, I'll show you right now. Then you only have to click a button. You don't have to keep going back to YouTube and embedding these. So yeah, right here, this button is for embedding images. This is for YouTube videos. So you'll click on this page, and then you'll see right here, embed video. And then it's embedded in the post. See? That's all you have to do. And you can do that as many times as you want, so you don't have to keep grabbing that video code. So I'm going to remove that. Alright, so let's go back to the admin area. Next, I'm going to show you the testimonials feature. So you or your organization may have favorable reviews or testimonials scattered around the internet. This page allows you to advertise those testimonials on your landing page. So you'll add the name of the person or organization giving you a review, the quote, and then optionally a hyperlink to the location where people can find the testimonial, and then you'll click Add. And then where they're going to show up is right here below your hero image, above your top post. There will be a horizontal slider with all your testimonials. So this is a great way to have a key page on your website, so your landing page linked to a lot of other important web presences on the internet. So it should be good for search engine optimization as well. Of course, any business or organization or endeavor really benefits from positive reviews. So go out there and get those good reviews and ratings. So let's head back to the admin page. The next part of the website is the global site settings page. And this is one of the most exciting parts of the website, at least for me. As you can see, this page is very long. However, that's because the options on this page represent the core customizability features offered by ArachniCMS. So feel free to give the descriptions of each option a read, but I'll give you a brief overview. So the first option is the color theme preference. As you can see, I have it set to gray. And there's many other colors available here, as you can see, each of them compatible with the theme switcher. Let's try a few. So as you can see, there's a lot of different color options for you, and frankly my favorite one is actually just the gray one, perhaps because I'm a little bit boring, but you can experiment and try all the different ones out if you like. So the next option is to publicize the blog post view count. Changing this option toggles the visibility of the view count of each blog post. That's that little eyeball icon for each blog post. So regardless of what you set this to, you'll always be able to see the view counts when you log in. It just determines if other people, when they visit your site, can see it. You can also automatically lock comments on future blog posts. So while this setting is activated, all new blog posts created will have their comment sections locked. Note that this setting does not affect previously created blog posts, and it also doesn't prevent you from manually toggling that setting for each individual blog post. It's just kind of an automation feature if you don't want to keep clicking that button. So then there's a setting for automatically approving comments. I have this set to no, but you can set this to yes. Basically, if you have it set to no, then all new comments will automatically be unapproved. If you have it set to yes, then they'll be set to approved. So this can be a great way for you to basically manually moderate comments before they're publicized. Next, there's landing page header and tagline. That's the text that appears over the hero image on the landing page. I highly recommend you customize this to your organization, because otherwise it's just going to advertise this software. The next option is allow blog post text selection. So this is kind of hard to explain, but right now, I don't know if you can see it on the screencast, but I'm using my cursor to highlight this text here. So this setting isn't rock solid DRM technology, if you know what that is, as anyone with even a cursory knowledge of web browser technology is going to easily be able to bypass this. But I'm going to give you a demonstration of what it is. If you go to the admin page, you'll notice you won't be able to select this text with your cursor. Okay, and so that setting, I did that just to demonstrate it to you, but you know, that setting affects whether or not visitors to your site will be able to select the text of your blog posts, essentially. So it's not rock solid defense against people stealing your content or anything, but you know, it can perhaps prevent some of the low hanging you know, the low effort attempts at ripping off content on the internet, and it may help you also achieve a certain aesthetic with your website. So this next setting enables or disables your website backups. More about that in a little bit. This is the contact form email. So the contact form we haven't gone over yet. It's on this page right here. This page allows your site visitors to contact you without actually having to expose your email address to the world. So essentially, you know, as long as something passes the spam filter when people fill this out, then their message will get emailed to you with their information. And this yeah, so this is where you're going to put the email address. Where is it? This is where you're going to put the email address that you want that stuff to get sent to. And there are some parameters here with what you can and cannot do, because we have to use a transactional email service provider. And I recommend Mailgun, which is free for the first 10,000 emails. The same provider will also deliver your forgotten password emails if you forget your password. So connecting ArachniCMS to a provider like Mailgun is required if you're going to use the software. Now I can help you and provide more information about this process when you discuss hosting arrangements for this software. But yeah, nowadays a transactional email service provider is required. You may remember a day, an age when you could send emails directly from your web server, but that day is long gone, especially when they're important emails that are getting sent. So the next options are the logo images, and as well as the logo image as well as the hero image. So they have the same requirements as the other images on the website, 2 megabyte upload limit. However, the logo has additional dimensional restrictions to make sure the uploaded image fits nicely into the navigation area. And if you need help making a logo or hero image, it's not really my expertise, but it's definitely something that I can help you with. So the next setting allows you to enable your email list subscriptions for MailChimp. If you aren't using MailChimp, or you need to temporarily disable the email collection forms for some reason, turn this off, and then the forms will disappear from your landing page and your blog posts. So if you are using the email list subscription forms, if you have this set to yes, then you can customize those subscribe forms that people have to fill out with you know, a custom message if you don't want it to say just subscribe, and then maybe some custom copy in there as well. After people do fill out those forms with their email, they'll be taken to a thank you page, and the thank you page, you can customize what it says right here, the title and the copy for that. So if you have social media profiles relevant to your website, put those links here, and then what's going to happen is logo links for those profiles are going to be generated in the footer for every page of your website. And then after that, like I said, there is support for Patreon and LibrePay. If you put one, you don't have to. Both of these are optional. But if you put Patreon or LibrePay or both of the links in there, then those logos are going to show up at the bottom of your landing page, as well as at the end of each blog post, as you saw earlier. So the next section, I believe, is the font section. Yes, now this is the font preference. There's a couple of them for you to choose from, different styles, and based on what you select here, it will accordingly style the text in key areas of your website, such as your blog posts. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Allegreus Sans as well as the Allegreus Serif, especially because in many cases I've configured them to use their small caps variants in certain areas, such as in blog post headings and whatnot, which that the small caps feature is limited to the Allegreia. So anyways, I hope you like the mix of fonts that I've added to this. So after you're done customizing the settings, click Save. One tip for modifying the settings on this page, since it is so long, is to modify the settings only one setting or several at a time, and then scroll down here and click Save, and then go and check out how you like the changes. So the last part we'll talk about is the backup section right here. So if backups are enabled in your settings, this is where you're going to find the backups of your content, like photos and blog posts. They're generated every night. Over time, the old backup files will be automatically deleted, but backups can take up space, so you should consider deleting the old ones if you run out of space. The backups take the form of a zip archive if you download them with this button. And then if you are unzipping the backups on some operating systems, such as Windows, it may appear as though some files are missing, but that's totally normal. It's just down to how certain operating systems deal with zip archives. In that case, you should use a professional zip archive tool, such as the free 7-zip software, rather than your file browser's built-in zip utility. And if you need help with that, of course, that can help you. These are here. These backups are here regardless of your hosting arrangements, because sometimes your hosting arrangement for a website will involve a backup system. This is totally separate from that. This is just built in so that you can, all of your user content that you uploaded, like your photos, and then essentially a dump of your database. So, all of your blog posts and everything, that's what's going to be in that zip archive, okay? So it's a way for you to have access to backups of your content regardless of who is managing your hosting and how they're doing it. So thank you for watching. I'm super excited about this first offering from ArachniDev LLC. Please let me know if you are interested. ArachniDev LLC is more than happy to host this for you. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.